expand your audience a little bit and make a few bucks, but mainly, you know, it adds a profit streamline, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You'll get a greater audience.
Yeah, but like I said, it does carry that, I'm just so anti-Google, you know, I mean, it's just, I'm so anti being part of this system that it's just like, I just can't be comfortable with that. I mean, I tried to get partnership back in the old days just because I wanted the longer videos, you know, because it was really hard for me to do the 10-minute thing. But, you know, once they gave 15 minutes, that becomes less of an issue, and now it's like no issue at all. There's no, you know, like I said, I would like to be part of that propaganda, but I'm so opposed to the whole mechanism of this popularity engine running the internet that, you know, how could I possibly sell out to it? That would be just so opposite. That's like me using a Chrome browser. I mean, that ain't going to happen. You know, I don't care if it's the last one on earth. I'm not using it.
Why is that? I think I missed somewhere along your video streams why you're anti-Google. I see.
Well,
like,
we'll go back. I have another website called donotgo.com. So instead of do not God, it's do not go. So go to that website. This is a 10-year. I've been fighting with Google since it first started. Well, since its second year. But I was in the search industry stuff. I was arguing, trying to protect the idea of a non-commercial search engine 10 years ago.
Okay, I'll check that out because I've been wondering about that. Like, what is it about Google that sets this guy off? So.
Yeah, I mean, Google got away with something like I said. It's just insidious when you look at their history. I mean, these two little putzes create this search engine at a Stanford University. They talk about how the rest of the industry is corrupt, that we need a non-commercial alternative. So they set up everybody by giving it away for 2 years for free. Get everybody caught up and hooked on it, and then they spring the trap. And they put ads on every website on the internet. I mean, if Microsoft had done it, Bill Gates would have been hung in the public square. And that's the joke here. They did something even, Microsoft could no way do, and they got away with it.
So it was just pure deception, which is kind of how you're explaining it here.
Yeah, it's just pure bait and switch. Here, we're going to give you this non-commercial, non-gaming system, and then later on we're going to sell out to become the biggest marketing company in the world. I mean, just the irony of it. Just even saying these words. The biggest marketing company in the world is controlling internet indexing. Now does that, like, if that's what you thought the internet would turn into, would you have voted for the internet? You know what I'm saying? Like 15 years ago, if you told me that's what the internet would be, that the biggest marketing company in the world would basically be indexing the internet, that somebody wouldn't say, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Anyway, I'm going to get going. It was nice to see you again this weekend, Gary. And I'll talk to everyone later.
Yeah, thanks for the flower. I actually watched some of your origami videos, so yeah, it's, pretty cool and such.
I want you to do some of the origami.
Yeah, well, I actually make paper earrings. I have to find that shit, but, I used to try to make money selling paper earrings. But anyway, till next time.
Anyway, yeah, good night.
Yeah, let's
I have like a question for everyone.
Yeah, we were going to ask you a question, whether you had like a YouTube channel or something. Do you have a YouTube channel yet? You have to get a YouTube channel.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, she froze. Damn. Must be a Mac.
Mac. Hey, I have both. I think it's funny, like, I work at Best Buy and I have, oh, whoops. What was that? You were frozen there for a while, Nate. You want to start over?
No, I don't. Me? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you were frozen.
What I was going to say is, I was wondering what you guys thought about aliens. And I know that sounds like a stupid question, and I know everyone's like, oh my god, aliens, blah, 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 blah,
Good
blah.
timing. That guy Resin has plenty to say about aliens. He'll tell you the whole story.
I want to know. My theory. I have this theory. Okay.
The three pigs were like over at Goldilocks' house, and they were doing like all kinds of weird sexual stuff, and all of a sudden one of them eggs from like alien opened up, and it ate the three pigs, and oh wait, yeah, that doesn't really explain where the aliens came from. All right, never mind.
We should hear Resin.
Just step one up.
She's
Just step one
asking
up.
about the aliens, so.
Yeah, no, well, like, you know, she's all ready for it, so yeah, well, we're okay, hit us with it.
Okay, so I think that the aliens, there's these these life forms, whatever, aliens that are kind of like not in charge, but maybe we were an experiment, or maybe we were something to this Earth. They actually want to protect the Earth. They want to destroy the planet, because the planet is actually like a very beautiful thing. Like, think about the planet. The planet is something like extraordinary, like unlike any creature on it. And I feel like if we start to do like the whole nuclear war thing, like if we ever do a nuclear war, like the aliens will come down and be like, oh, please stop. And it's like, you don't stop. If you destroy the planet,
But we already did a nuclear war. We did one already.
I have to say, like, I don't know these things. I used to live in a box. I lived in like a suburban town, like orange people, like I don't know, dude, like Jersey Shore, like I don't know what those things are. I don't know, like the Barbies, and just that.
Yeah.
Oh, really great people.
Well,
great people. You
yeah,
know?
whatever. Jersey's okay. That's right.
I wasn't not in Jersey, but anyway, like the thought I have is like there's this thing called the Disclosure Project or something like that I'm like doing a feature story on for my school. And it's basically like all these NASA employees and like people who have been like able to get their hands on the documents or whatever, like talked about how they saw like there was like things on the other side of the moon, and like that's like all of these things about bases on like on the moon.
Yeah, well,
It's
that stuff doesn't go anywhere. I mean, that's all you know, conspiracy theory, truther kind of garbage. You know, look.
But it's garbage.
Yeah,
what?
it's garbage. It's
How
garbage.
can things like that be garbage?
What do you mean?
is
How?
garbage?
Well, whatever. Garbage is silly stories made up by people. Okay, that's what garbage is. Garbage is like when people say something they can't verify. But anyway, just out of curiosity, where did your aliens come from? Like, did they evolve on a planet,
Dude,
or did they
it's like you asking me like where does skin like how do people
whatever.
like I don't know.
Okay, fine. So we'll all make up a religion then. I believe in Hippity Hoppity the Frog, right? He had his own TV show, Hippity Hoppity. And I think Hippity Hoppity made the universe, okay? And he just hippity hops through the universe from galaxy to galaxy, and he just says, I'm picking that planet. I'm going to do some hippity hoppity on it, and it's going to have a life on it. And that's he just hippity hoppities through the universe, pooping out life. There's my theory.
That could be one theory. You know, that's
No,
like
it couldn't be. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. It's not reasonable. It's not rational. You're not going to be able to change the world, right? You know how broken you said the world's broken? But, you know, little phantasmagorical bullshit stories are not going to fix the broken. It's not good glue. It's exactly the opposite of glue. Bullshit stories, they're like the opposite of glue. Bullshit stories are like a hammer. They break things.
I don't understand that.
Well, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. You don't understand how 5,000 religions on planet Earth have completely fucked up planet Earth. You don't understand how the human race has completely wasted a ton of time and energy because it has 5,000 loopy religions running around saying they have the truth. You don't understand how that's created a problem.
But no, I do. I'm sure that makes sense. Religions could, of course, have created problems. Lots of things that's been going on. In, like,
well, I'm just saying, they're all just made-up stories. They're all made-up stories. Everybody makes up a story, then you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to be able to do anything collectively. You're not going to organize anything, and nothing good is going to happen if everybody just makes up a truth.
Well, I mean, we're all making up our own truths. No one knows the true truth.
That's what we're right back to the very beginning, okay? There are people who know the truth. There are people who've done the research, done the studying. They understand the mechanisms. They're called physicists and chemists. And, you know, you got to do some work. But if you do the work, you can know the truth. But, yeah, the truth isn't something you can just say, well, I feel like the aliens are around me, so they must be because I feel it.
I don't believe, like, it's a theory. You know, it's not like I necessarily think, like, yes, aliens, all that. No, it's a theory, an idea, maybe something, because like, there's lots of theories, there's lots of ideas that make sense.
No, a theory and a notion are not the same thing.
But you know what's weird? I actually don't know words. Sometimes I don't know definitions of words, and I know that sounds weird, and I know you may think, like, oh my god, a lot of people get annoyed, and it's okay, and I learn a new word every day. But I'm sorry that, like, all this, it's just thoughts, words sometimes are difficult for me.
Well, I'm not complaining about your words. I'm complaining about the ones you intend to convey. And when you start talking about aliens that poof from nowhere that are going to come to the planet Earth and save us before we nuke each other, you know, like I said, why didn't they show up when we're doing the Hiroshima thing and the Nagasaki thing? Why didn't they show up then?
I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't have their cell phones on. Okay, good comeback. Yep, got it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't think, like, aliens. See, there's no actual theory that I have. I'm just, like, asking. Think about what everyone on this planet, or everyone in this chat room that's listening to me, how they think of what is the meaning of it all. I just want to know what I feel like we can't know, and it drives me crazy every time. Doesn't it drive other people crazy? That's what I want to know.
I feel like everything must be expressed, whether it's positive, negative, everything must be expressed. That is God, everything. Everything in existence, everything anybody's ever thought, anything everybody's ever created, memories, it must be expressed. So everybody's right and everybody's wrong.
Why must it be expressed? So you made a statement, you did this before, you make a statement, but you don't substantiate it. Why must it be expressed? Tell me that.
Well, I'd like to understand how you know everybody's wrong or everybody's right. I mean, that part doesn't make any sense either.
Because everybody don't agree. Everybody has their own opinions, and everybody will have their own opinions.
That doesn't mean anything. There's qualified opinions, and there's ludicrous opinions.
You're talking over me now.
That's right. I'm going to kick you out of the fucking room pretty soon, too. It's just nonsense.
But are you the one that did it last time?
Yeah,
well, it has my name. When you get kicked, the name of the guy who kicked you out of the room is going to be there, yes. Yes, I'm the one who kicked you, yes.
This is his show, so he'll kick you. But what you're doing, Resin, is you come in and you just say babble. You say shit. You don't, and then you don't support it, and then you claim that you got kicked because of your opinion. You didn't present a fucking opinion. You just come in and say nothing. You just say some crap without any evidence.
Everybody cut me off and talked over me and kicked me out.
Well, what's your evidence for any of this nonsense? Like I said, you haven't
backed
backed up one statement with a logical statement defending it. Not even a logical statement. You're just making
statements.
Just
it's not logical to you doesn't mean you know.
No, logical is a discipline. Okay, it's not a subjective thing. It's an objective thing. It can be analyzed.
Logical is one word.
Well, fuck you. Who's talking over who now, asshole?
Everyone.
Resin, you need an education, brother. You need to go out, you need to read some fucking books, and you need an education. You can't just go somewhere and then just blab something out and then sit there like, I'm self-proclaimed now. I'm validated. You gotta support your claim, man.
I support everything that I say.
Wait.
I just don't know what all the animosity is for.
I just don't know because, yeah, dude, like, we're all just talking, and talking's fun, and we just talk forever and never solve anything because nothing matters, because nothing's true, because I can't tell right from wrong, because I can't tell smart from stupid. I can't yellow bus, blue bus. I don't know which one to get on. She educated? What's an education? I tie shoes left, right, you do them right, left. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Do you believe in the story of Noah's Ark?
Do you believe shit smells?
Every time I take a shit, I smell it, so therefore, I believe so. Check it out. Scientists are able to prove that, Noah's Ark is a fictional story, the way that it's been told. Because nowadays, they cannot even, come up with an ark. They can't build an ark big enough to have two of each creature in it. Two of each creature on the planet.
Brontosauruses couldn't swim.
You're talking
so
over
who
me. I'm trying to
cares?
give you my evidence, and
Obviously,
you're stopping me.
fucking Noah's Ark is not the subject of this room. Nobody in this room, presumably, believes the story of Noah's Ark. So you're not.
Somebody asked what everybody believed.
Yeah, and you're telling us what we don't believe. You believe the Noah's Ark story?
No, I don't.
Well, nobody else
But I
does
do believe
either.
that, there could have been a database of DNA that aliens put together to have the DNA from every single creature
aliens again. Yeah.
on the Earth.
Yeah,
and put it
and
together.
anybody, I could make up the magical frog story, too. I could just say there's a frog who, has a bunch of DNA in his pocket, and he just spreads it around the universe. I mean, you're just making it up. There's no evidence for your aliens. There's evidence of evolution. Well, I'm sorry, there's a ton of evidence demonstrating the evolution of life on Earth. Yes, really.
You can tell us what happened 4 million
I actually
years
do
ago.
have it. I actually have a fossilized trilobite right on the shelf here for you. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of fucking evidence.
That's great.
All right, and have you been around for millions of years to see what happens to a fossil for a couple
you
million
need a
years?
videotape. If you don't
studied
got
it?
a video camera and a videotape, I ain't gonna believe it because it's scientifical. I mean, you're just wasting time. I mean, this isn't what anything with a brain does. Anything with a brain doesn't sit there and say, "Can you make up a better story than 3 pigs?" How about making up a 4-pig story?
People without a brain does not talk about 3 little pigs over and over again.
Well, that's all you're talking. That's all you're talking, asshole.
You think you're smarter and superior.
Oh,
You're
whatever.
saying bad words. There's no need for,
Oh, yeah, there is.
There?
Oh, yes,
Yeah, you're
there
not
is.
familiar with Gary's style.
Yeah, there's a definite need. The world ain't going to change because everybody's just going to say, oh, yeah, let's all just agree to disagree, and you can make up your shit, and I'll make up my shit, and he can make up his shit. And
It's been happening for thousands of years.
Oh, yeah, and
And
how
the
well is
world
it
gets along
happening?
just fine.
How well? Oh, yeah, we're getting along just fine. See, why don't you, over here, explain to him, over there, how everything isn't just fine.
I think anyone can see who you're talking to.
Well, I was
Yeah,
just saying,
it makes a lot
you're
of
the
sense.
bookends in my view, okay? You're the bookends. The alien believer.
You're going to be the type of person that's going to be locked up in a FEMA camp when the world order comes in.
Whatever. Okay, take that to, there's a room, okay? A guy has a
You know,
room all the
those-
time. This child molester guy called Von Helton, he has a room all the time about all that conspiracy theory shit. You'll love his room. So go hang out there.
I used to watch that guy back on Blog TV. That guy was fucking hilarious. Oh my god. You gotta go check him out.
Yeah, he's going right now. I sent him, I gave him a special little boost in that direction.
Yeah, that Von Helton's anti-reptilian campaign was just over the top, man. And that guy's fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah, gun nuts are always really funny. Scary. Hey, crazy Asian chick. That's a pretty good replacement.
Is this going to turn into 2 girls in 1 cup?
Well, I don't know where it's going, but yeah, it's getting a little rude.
What's up then, Gary?
Ooh. Cat wanted to say something.
I'm an alien cat.
That rock and roll came in
actually-
earlier and was
I'm
had
alien.
boobs bouncing on the screen.
No, I'm the alien cat. I actually invented the universe. I made the whole thing. It's my idea. I have a patent on it. You all owe me some money. Yeah, I patented the universe. It's mine. Pay me, you fuckers.
Yeah, you heard it right out of the cat's mouth, right? Can't deny that. What do you want? Sorry, cat's nagging.
The cat said it. I believe it. That settles it.
Yeah, we have to go with it. I mean, we witnessed it. So Machine Ghost guy, the other guy's got much better video than you. So, you know, you're falling way behind. Your mic's a little too low, too.
Like, that whole thing is very odd. Like, being here is very odd. The fact that you just, like, yell at some dude because this is not...
Yeah, well, there's a certain standard of argumentation, you know, that yeah, you can only waste your time on certain subjects so many times, and then you just say, no, we're not going to waste time on that shit anymore. So like I said, there's a context to this room. It's been here for 3 years. We argued all the Christian religion bullshit. We argued all this UFO bullshit. There's no evidence for any of this crap. So it's like that's sort of like a done argument. There's just no point in going over it and 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 over it.
Like, my main problem with that resin was that he would just come in and make an empty statement. You know, it's like, it's one thing to say, like, I think aliens influenced to go to space because they found ancient tablets that had what looked like an astronaut that was not made by human hands, as far as we can tell. It's like, okay, so you made a statement and you tried to support it. But then he's just like, you know, just comes in, aliens had to have given us language.
Yeah,
and
but,
then he just sits
I
there
know,
and
but
it's like,
that would be
talking about?
almost even worse, though. Okay, but that's like the pyro argument. I mean, I'm not going to argue an old 1970 video called The Life of Plants. Okay, I mean, it's already been debunked 7 million times. It's crap. So, you know, and why do I want to re-argue Chariot of the Gods? I mean, you know, we can argue this crap forever, and there's no point, because somebody will say, well, what about the Incas? And what about their calendar and shit? And, I mean, who wants to do that? I have no interest in wasting my time arguing with somebody who obviously wants to believe something. There's no evidence indicating any of the rubbish, so they obviously want to believe it. It's not that it's the truth. It's not that the facts lead to it. They just want to believe it.
Yeah, part of the problem with religion is you get new minds that bring up the same old points. You know, like, it's like we've already debated it from the Enlightenment age. We've already debunked it, that there is no creationism. And then you get new minds that come in, they're in their teens to early 20s, and they're bringing up the same old arguments. And so we have to go through the whole process all over again, and it just keeps perpetuating.
Yeah, well, that's why I think YouTube should complement this, is that, you know, YouTube should be the medium to provide the base foundation arguments, just so you don't have to bother with them anymore. So you can just say, this is the premise of further conversation, and if you're going to go outside this premise, there's no point in having a conversation. So stay within the premises, and then we can debate what we don't know. But there's a whole bunch of stuff we do know that's established that we're not going to go over it and over it and over it.
Okay, so wait, so the premises of this place, so this place where I am right now, people, so you guys don't believe in anything, like you believe in what you have, what you find as your proof, as your evidence, and then the things that you think are like outlandish and nonsense, and then you just don't believe in a lot of things.
Well, you're describing the scientific method, so, I mean, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we're at the 2011 stage. We're not at 1940. We're not at 1876 knowledge. We're not at 1742 knowledge. We've accepted Darwin. We've accepted Einstein. We've accepted the whole progress of science, and that and the real hard science, and yeah, that's accepted here. And so the premise is, where do you go from there? Where do you go from what we do know? Again, it's what we do know, the stuff we do know. And we're not still 2,000 years ago, you know, shitting in the dirt. No, we have evolved, our intelligence has evolved, and we're trying to build on it. We're not going backwards, trying to go forward.
And Gary made a point earlier with somebody that, like, logic and reasoning, like, one person was saying, like, well, we all have different opinions. No, we're not discussing opinions here. We're discussing rationality. We're discussing logic. And that is a discipline. It's a practice. So you don't just go into an argument and just say stuff and then just sit there. That's not an argument anymore. Now you're just standing there with a bulletin board, you know, saying all gays are sinners, you know, or some fucking thing like that, some empty statement that some other people might appeal towards, but it doesn't have any, you know, substantial anything. It doesn't have anything to support it. So it's like that's what we try to do here, is have a discipline of argumentation based on the foundation of logic.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument. I'm just saying, I'm not saying you can't argue religion. It's just you'd have to make a new argument, not one that's already been disposed of 5 million times. And if you want to argue there's aliens...
No, no, I was just...
No, I'm just saying, it's like, I'm not trying to be hostile and evil or nasty or something. I'm just saying that, I'm just trying to give you context of why, after 3 years,
that's to be debated.
I would be carrying a ton of frustration. I'm just saying, if I've done this, so man, I can't tell you how many times I've had these arguments, and it doesn't feed my brain anymore just to keep arguing the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah, I know, I wouldn't want to argue. I think I'd much rather just talk. If people just ask me all the time, because there's so many people who don't know, man. And it's good to, like, let them know, but in, like, a calm way, a very calm way. I think everyone's just calm.
Yeah, well, let me give you an analogy. Let's say it's 1941, and from your perspective as a Jew, your family, your race is getting annihilated. Now, you wouldn't be calm about that, would you? So from my perspective, this is how I'm looking at the world. I'm figuring the human race is basically inevitably going to get into a nuclear war. It's inevitable. We have no way to control our angers and hostilities. We're going to have a very bad world war. Okay? Billions of people dead. The economy's going to crash. Huge catastrophe. And then on top of that, most humans are these evil, meat-eating bastards who are committing all this cruelty to all these little sentient creatures on this planet. On top of that, we have billions of years of evolution where animals have basically evolved to do nothing but rip the skin off their relatives, essentially. All right? So from my perspective, this is a Poeskian nightmare. So being calm about that would be rather ludicrous. I mean, it would be preposterously ludicrous if I could look in the jaws of horror like that and just be calm about it. I mean, if a great white shark is eating your boat, you just don't say, oh, a great white shark is eating my boat.
A great white shark, and then the end of the world and a great white shark eating...
Well, that's called a metaphor. I mean, if you don't know what metaphors are or analogies are, then yeah, we're really in trouble.
I think I learned those sometimes.
Well, I'm just saying, you use something as an example to try to convey an understanding of the circumstance. See, if you can't get the real circumstance, I have to create a parallel circumstance that might be a little simpler, you know, draw it in crayons and say, see, can you sort of get the idea now? And that's all I'm trying to do. So I'm not saying an actual shark is eating my actual boat. I don't have a boat. There is no shark.
No, I know.
Okay.
I get it.
And Gary also uses his, it seems to me like he uses his emotions as to kind of influence himself, to give him the drive that he needs to convey a point. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary. I don't think I agree with that, but it works for him, you know. Where like I'm the other. I do it differently. I do it deductively. I do it without. I try to not have emotion involved in the point that I'm trying to make, because I feel like it becomes convoluted information. And it might just be because I can't handle my emotions properly, where he conveys it pretty effectively, you know.
Yeah, well, you do a really good job. You're doing fine. So I'm all aye, thumbs up. You know, you're doing good. Yeah, I'd prefer to be Mr. Spock, but no, I'm Captain Kirk, unfortunately. I get a little crazy.
Yeah.
You keep it within control, but
Yeah, well, just,
I've never seen you upset at all, Gary, over the head.
yeah. Well, like I said, it's just so hard to, you know, you really should. People shouldn't even have to explain pain, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a person speaking from a painful perspective. I mean, you know, and you just can't be unemotional about that.
You can do anything.
No, I would say you just use a mechanism that works. You know, like I said, your expression in emotions, and even when you present like an insult, like in argumentation, and which I'm pretty sure you learned in terms of you know, logic and reasoning, using an insult technically defines you with a failing argument. But then you justify why. You say that they're fucktard fucks, and then you define why they are. You know, so that it's still within reason.
Well, yeah, and it's mostly done because it's just so much easier. I mean, damn it. You know, I mean, there's a point where you're just saying it's just too, you know, I'm not going to read the encyclopedia to this guy, so I'm just going to call him a fucktard instead. But it all doesn't matter. Like I say, I have no strategy at all. I mean, I wish I could apply one. I wish I could be more methodical, more strategic. But yeah, no, it's just me. This is just who I'm just too old and tired to try to clean myself up.
I feel the same way. Only it's like the complete opposite, and I'm just too young and not tired, and I haven't read enough, and I haven't like researched enough, and I wish that I could express all my thoughts and like these theories and ideas that I have in my head with more clear, like clarity or whatever, more clear, so a lot of other people, it's like a universal way of explaining things, but it's really difficult for me to do that because I get so passionate about it now.
Yeah, well, you should get a YouTube channel. You really should. I mean, you do the chick thing. I mean, you're cute and all that stuff. That's going to really work for you. So you get an audience, and you'll get feedback.
Really don't want to do.
I know, but if you
I'm just going to make art.
Well, all right. Well, those are two conflicting things then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one part of you is saying, I have an idea, I have something I need to express, and then the art thing is just so ambiguous, though. I mean, art is such an ambiguous expression that.
Yeah, but I really feel like you don't understand. No one's going to understand. I don't expect anyone to understand, and it's totally fine. But it's just like this huge thing inside. I can't explain it to you, or anyone.
Well, okay, so she has special magic stuff that she can't explain. The rest of us, our stuff is explainable, and their stuff isn't explainable. But okay, it's all right. You can have special magic unexplainables.
Oh, I don't? Oh, I wish I knew. I don't have unexplainable magic. What magic? I don't know what you're saying.
I'm just saying I don't think that really there's an you just have to find a medium, you know, that you're comfortable with. And I'm just saying through that medium you will gain what you're looking for. That's what I'm suggesting. I mean, the Internet's this huge place. You know, lots of different, you can just get your foot a little bit wet, or you can jump in a huge pool of it, or you can, there's all kinds of ways to do this communicating thing and this interacting thing that'll give you the feedback, okay, that you can refine yourself with. That's all. I mean, you're in this room, so I mean, part of you is playing the game. I'm just saying there's other ways to play the game. There's other ways to get into it. I'm just saying YouTube might be a good medium for you because it's controllable, you know, in a lot of ways. You can do it as much or as little as you want.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I guess YouTube. Yeah, it just seems so much to do. I feel like maybe I should just finish school and like travel and then not even think about a computer for a while. But yeah, it doesn't make sense though. Like YouTube and all that stuff really does sound like a really powerful. Like it's like a really great thing for people to get their voice. That's how I met some really amazing people, and that's how I think I met. No, I'm pretty sure I met like the love of my lives. Like truly, it's because the internet is a great thing. It is. It truly is. I'm not denying that. But I just suck at it sometimes, especially when it comes to like
it just
YouTube.
takes practice. You know,
Yeah.
just like anything else, just like you doing your artwork, it just takes practice. You'll find your avenue, you know, is what he's saying. You're still just a baby, you know. Like you have this ambition to express yourself, but
yeah, but whatever.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, you know, she's in her teens. I mean, she's like just now starting to branch out on her and express her own individualism. She's at like stage 1, you know. You definitely need to give yourself practice.
Yes, I definitely agree. I'm pretty, dude, I haven't even begun.
You know, where Gary, he's been doing this shit for years. Like, you know, like he's
yeah,
so he's
but
able to express
that's all it
himself
is,
pretty
though.
effectively.
You know, I mean, if you had if there was actual video of me when I was 17, you know, it wasn't that much of a difference. That's the funny part. I mean, it's.
I know, it's just the face and the way that you look.
Yeah, you just rot slowly, but yeah, your brain. I mean, like I said, I'm more articulate. I can use more vocabulary words, but.
Yeah, because you know you've heard many more in your life and more times in your life, and all that stuff, all that jazz.
Yeah, but the basic frame of mind is still the same. I mean, I've just been, so anti-civilization and human. The whole game has just been so obviously wrong for so long. But anyway, I'm still here, so that's something.
I didn't mind the boobs and ass, but I don't know how this video feels. Look at this shit.
I had my head down. Yeah, I'll take care of that.
It's so weird. People are so weird, man. We're all so weird. Isn't it great? We're all so fucking weird.
Well, I'm not quite that weird. I'm weird, but not quite that weird.
Are you what? Of course, I'm fucking weird. So are you. Everyone's very weird. We all have our weird things.
It's the theory of the 97%. 97% of the world is fucked in one way or the other. That doesn't disinclude me or you.
Well, I know, but you can, I mean, the truth is there are people who are fucked in the sense that they're completely and perfectly classically normal, so, I mean, however you want to put it, but, yeah, I'm just saying there's definitely varieties of weird. I mean, there's a scale somewhere. There's very weird, and then there's less weird. I mean, getting fucked by a horse, I mean, that's really pretty mega weird.
Yeah, because just like with every weird, it's just a word.
Well, I don't know. It's a word that has a meaning and a definition, which is, basically abnormal, and there's standards for abnormality. All this unqualifying stuff, I wish you'd let go of that stuff. I mean, everything isn't just ambiguous and mushy and foggy and uncertain and unknown and the same. Everything can be given a more precise definition.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I just feel like I should figure it out. Like, figure it out in my own head. Like my own, and eventually I'll have a strong opinion and more grasp like you do, but it's gonna be so different and just completely different. Yeah, dude, I'm fucking young. What can I say? I'm in a talk show room with you and talking whatever. You guys have been here longer than I have. I get it, but eventually you guys are gonna cross like that metallical wall that's like the other side, and then here, and then like, because everyone just like puts their, like, everyone in the world is like flaying themselves towards this wall. It's like huge, millions and millions feet high metallical wall that's like so thick and so low, and you can't even listen, you can't even hear through it, because that's the other side, that's everything else that we don't know, like that's the death or whatever that is. But it's also something to look forward to. We should always just think.
Okay. I think I just got like Valley Girl poisoning or something. What the hell was that?
Sometimes consider
metallic wall?
Yeah.
Come on, the alien thing was better. Metallic wall. That's too weird a metaphor.
Valley Girl? I don't know what that means.
I guess it's an 80s reference. It's just Valley Girls just to just talk shit.
No, it's just something I had in my head. I just think of it as like...
You're fucking so brand new.
Yeah, it's a great...
Like, I think about, because I was thinking about Pink Floyd. You know Pink Floyd, The Wall, whatever. I just think of the wall as a literal term. And I just think of it as like a, and then I just thought of it as like an imaginary wall in my head. That's a, what's the word? Cutting, like, the other side, like the unknown and what we know. That's all I was doing.
Okay. I'm just saying, yeah, like I said, that just as a metaphor, as poetry, yeah, it's okay, pretty, talky, pretty, but I just don't, I can't do much with it philosophically, because I'm still going to argue that we do know a hell of a lot, and then the real good metaphor would be is that people just walk around with blindfolds banging into the wall, and they just won't take the blindfolds off, and you say, take the blindfold off, and they just won't do it, and so they just keep banging into the wall. So that would be how I would use the wall. The wall is just something for humans to keep banging into.
I'm sure we bang into them and release them.
Alright, well, I appreciate the time, Gary. I'll try to catch you another time, otherwise I'll just keep checking your videos out. You guys have a good night, alright?
Yeah, no, it's really good. Thank you. And such. He froze or something. But anyway, pretty cool. I'm gonna go find his YouTube or something, right? Hayden got it. Anyway. Somebody give me his channel, right? Somebody knows his channel. PM it to my channel. Well, somebody will know. Already done. There you go. Yay. Yeah, well, I know if I get it eventually, right? So it doesn't matter really. It doesn't have to be timely. Oh, I don't think the conversation died entirely. There's me, and there's the girl, and there's these other assholes in the room. You should be able to do okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about. I mean, I could, like... Oh, people have questions. There you go. I guess that would make sense.
Let's talk about the analogy that you used, the wall. This metal wall. It's the alienation of the human being from itself.
Ooh, a Professor Antonism. Ooh, the wall was guilty and it needed to say it's sorry to itself, and so it made a human being to say it's sorry to the wall for itself for not being a wall. Yeah, that was it.
I just think the wall... I don't know, like, what I was... Man, it's like a weird question. It's really hard to explain what I meant by the wall, because I think people will either think I'm retarded or not able to speak correctly on how to, like, express what the wall meant. But, it's just... I can't... I'd have to draw you a picture. I'd have to paint it. It would make more sense if I painted it.
Consider it practice. Try to. The more you practice, the better you get.
In theory.
Someone was like, go ahead, make love, I already think you're retarded. That was funny. And actually, I don't do many drugs. I don't even drink. But, yeah. I don't know. I really don't think, because I don't know enough. My friends, I don't know enough to actually, like, try and articulate anything. It sucks, man. Sucks.
You never know unless you try.
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, I guess I just don't buy that in a way, just because you always kind of know what's bothering you. You always kind of know, like, you can just look inside your own wheels and you can say, okay, what's bothering me? What frustrates me about life? What part of life isn't cutting it? What part of the risk don't I like? What part of the game don't I like? What part of the people don't I like? So, I mean, you can always cut it down to something. There must be something about it that's bothering you, that's causing you to feel anxious. I mean, are it the expectations? Is it the figuring out whether you want to be married or not married, whether you want to have a career, whether you want to do this? I mean, there's something...
None of that.
Well, there's something stirring you to say, I need to worry about this for some reason. So there must be some kind of thing inside your head that's saying there's a reason why I'm worried about this. I mean, wall is a very hard substance usually. You know, so if I was going to analyze your metaphor, if I was going to like analyze it like a dream, a wall is an unyielding.
It was a dream.
Well, I'm just saying, walls are like unyielding. Walls are cold. Walls are hard. Walls are, you know, it's a very negative thing, a wall. So I'm just saying, what is this negative thing representing to you? And I'm just saying, you probably can give it some kind of shape, some sort of form. There must be something, like, what would cause you to have a metaphor in your head of something hard and unyielding and unforgiving and thick and dense and, you know, in the way? I mean, walls are just, they're always negatives. They're always something confining or trapping, or, you know, so it must have something to do with something like that. Like, is it a wall like a prison wall?
No, not a prison wall. We're not, I don't know, I don't necessarily think we're trapped. Not necessarily. We are, because we're in the world and we're tiny little things. But, honestly, I'm actually fairly baked in now. Like, the fact I'm in this conversation, you're asking me these questions at the same time. It takes me a while. I have to think. I really have to think about it all. And I'll probably come back to you with all of this stuff. But no, I'll definitely think and write and read.
It's like...
Yeah, I'll definitely answer.
It's like when they always say to somebody who's brand new at the whole discovery, thinking outside the box. They say, thinking outside the box. I always say, there is no box.
Well, there is, though. I mean, there are huge traps in terms of perception. I mean, you accept this crap that somebody feeds you. You know, people accept Santa Claus and Easter rabbits and gods and religion, even liberal versus conservative. They accept a whole framework that they function through, and that's really boxing. I mean, incredibly boxing, because it does confine what they think is the realistic scope of a thought. I think that's why no one can even imagine the idea of no human beings on planet Earth. It's because it's just that they're in a box, and their box says, no, that's crazy. That's insane. How could the universe function without silly humans on it, you know, driving their cars and stuff? I'm just saying, so, I mean, there's definitely a box, you know. I don't think that's a bad metaphor, because I think there is a ton of weight that your social conditioning piles on top of you. So whether you call it a box, or you call it a hole, or you call it a ditch, or whatever you metaphor it to be, it's definitely a limiter. You have to be able to step out of it and get free of it to do any clean thinking. Yeah, even Humpty Dumpty has warped people's brains. I mean, every story, you know, the dwarfs, you know, Sleeping Beauty. I mean, all these little stories have all polluted all of our brains and created these Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare. All of this stuff has confined the scope of how we think, because it's created walls, you know, that just funnel the thought process through that maze that we create out of our experience. Even events that are common, like not even personal experiences, but you just think about, what if World War II never happened? Well, there'd be a huge difference in the political atmosphere, but just imagine the difference in terms of the movies you would have watched and the stories that would have been told and all of that. Just think of how much the world would have changed. You know, how much John Wayne's career would have been different. I mean, you could just have 5 million implications just because you change that one event. The whole perspective of the human race would have a huge warping effect, maybe good, maybe bad, on how people are thinking, because they'd have a whole different kind of sensibility, a whole different kind of fear, a whole different kind of understanding of what possibilities would be. I mean, you know, if we could undo dropping the nuclear bomb, then the nuclear bomb would still be a virgin, so to speak. You know, it would have never happened, so yeah, we could feel more comfortable that it never could happen, because no, we'd never dropped one.
I was going to say, you talked earlier about the inevitability of World War III and the nuclear weapon. Can you elaborate some more?
Well, I'm just saying there's this arc between technology and our violent nature. Like, these two things are going to intersect in the future in some kind of insidious way. Because I just don't think the two arcs are compatible. You know, because we haven't controlled our violent nature enough to be able to possess mass technology without using it against each other. You know, we're just too hostile. And so, you know, as technology keeps increasing, nuclear technology is inevitably going to get in the hands of people who don't give a fuck. And, you know, it's going to be sort of game over. I mean, right now we're seeing it. I mean, they use airplanes to knock down buildings. They're going to figure out different ways to. We're going to be vulnerable because of the technology. I mean, right now New Orleans is still vulnerable. I mean, all somebody has to do is, you know, create a little robot that drills into the side of the dike and, you know, blows a hole in it, and the whole thing happens all over again. I mean, we have these huge vulnerabilities that can create hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damage, and you know, you can't live in that kind of a world when people hate each other and don't have any way to express the hate except to cause harm. So I'm just saying, it just seems inevitable. I can't imagine a future where we're going to be able to survive technology. We're going to use it against each other. We're having drone wars right now. Right now we're flying, you know, we're bombing people from thousands of miles away. Some guy is sitting in a bunker in, you know, the Midwest, underground, and he's controlling an airplane that's dropping bombs on people, you know, thousands of miles away.
I think that technology is going to be so weird. You know, like how, like, my grandma and, like, my grandparents and all that stuff, like, they can't use a computer. Like, even some parents can't use computers. They can't use, like, the new technology that's happening right now. And, like, all these kids are, like, using their, like, I have, like, this iPod that literally is like a watch. Dude, it's weird, man. I don't even know. It's just, you know, I'm a spoiled person. I'm actually a very spoiled person, so yeah. I get things like that. But it's just odd when... But anyway, yeah, and I feel like maybe later on technology is going to be, like, to the point where there's no... Like, it's not going to say power. It's not going to say any words. They're just going to be, like, this weird contraption that's just, like, one solid color with, like, little markings, like, little, like, circles, like, buttons that you press, and you should know what the buttons are. I can already imagine, like, me as a parent and being like, I can't work this shit. It's just like a cycle.
Yeah, well, some of that's going to get easier, though. You know, just as a cycle, the technology is going to start getting integrated right into your physique. Like, you'll wear a pair of glasses, and the computer will be built right into the glasses, and it'll track your eyeball, and your eyeball will move the mouse, and, you know, it's going to be even easier to... You're going to be even more comfortable with the technology, not less comfortable, because it's going to get closer and closer to your senses. It's going to get closer and closer to your brain. So in that sense, it'll be easier. But the point I'm trying to make is that I can take pieces of technology right now, and I can do malicious damage to people with that technology. There's pretty high-powered lasers now. They're built into common devices, and those lasers can be used to blind people really easily without them even knowing you did it to them. I mean, you could just be on a bus and you could zap their eyesight, and they wouldn't even know what the fuck happened. That's the reality of the world we're heading for.
This does make sense. Could make sense.
Well, I'm just saying, as a practical matter, let's say if we had hydrogen cars or something, and my car had the capacity, you know, to create a certain amount of explosive power, like, you know, 2,000 pounds of TNT. Of course, people, you know, they're going to use that as a weapon. They're going to maliciously apply that technology.
So then, shit.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it gets kind of difficult if the cops can't show up at your house and be guaranteed they're not going to get blown up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they, you know, they come to repossess your car, and instead of repossessing your car, they get blown up? You know, because that's what the technology is going to allow you to do fairly easily. That's all I'm saying. It gets really difficult to have a civilization when individuals can exercise force of significant magnitude.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, makes sense. Okay.
I'm just saying we're going to radically change how human beings look at the world and look at their responsibilities in life if things are going to have any hope. It's that people have to really change a lot.
It's going to take a lot of time.
I think they already do that. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah, well, look, Zeitgeist, they're all good little shows, but they're, you know, it's like they do the A-B thing very good, but they don't do the C thing too good. You just, you know, it's one thing to maybe convert to a more rational, you know, worker reward kind of state, but this idea of doing away with currency is just insane, in my opinion. I mean, a resource economy is not going to take care of 7 billion people. It's just not. Yeah, well, you know, they make mistakes, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, the documentaries aren't that bad. They're actually getting too showy. I mean, the last one was a little bit boring to watch. So, I mean, I like the first one better than the second or third.
There's this thing on YouTube. I don't know. I was printing some pictures in school, and someone sent someone something on Facebook. Lo and behold, Facebook. It's called like the Arrivals or something like that. Have you heard about that?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Stay the fuck away from that shit. Stay away from it. Seriously.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is. It's just like random shit that, you know, there's so much that's just put out that you watch and you're like, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you know full well there's people who think the CIA blew up the buildings in New York City, and they have whole conspiracies, but it's all made out of nothing. It's all made out of, you know, a desire to make something more complicated than it was. It's like Kennedy assassination. I mean, you know, my whole life people have been claiming that it had happened some other way than what the evidence points to, and it's just like, well, why do you need to make up a story?
Yeah, but you know, but the thing is, like, that could not be a made-up story. Like, that could actually be, like, because, you know, and all the false things, there is some truth. Like, there must be truth. I'm sure there's always truth somewhere hidden in the words being made up. But, I don't know, like, you never know. The CIA, the whatever that's called, could have done this stuff. Things like that could actually
But they don't really make sense, though. If you analyze the stories, they don't really make sense. It's like the Rockwell alien story, you know, Area 51 and all that kind of stuff. You have to believe that, you know, military guys getting paid 19 grand a year are going to carry aliens to a special location. They're not going to steal any evidence. They're not going to try to make $1 million selling the story to the Inquirer. I mean, so you're saying that, let's say, it's theoretically possible that people would be planting a bunch of explosives in these buildings in New York, and they wouldn't take a picture with their cell phone and sell it to the National Enquirer afterwards for $1 million. Of course they would. I mean,
I'm sure if they wanted to fucking
conspiracies are incredibly hard to pull off, okay? I mean, it's incredibly hard to get a group of people and not have one of them rat you out. It's really, really hard to do that.
Yeah, there's like things called like the Disclosure Project, and people who just couldn't help but just take photographs and take that evidence. And
but they don't
show
have
people.
photographs, they don't have evidence, so that's the part where that all falls apart, because that's all fake. Okay, it isn't real, that's fake. That doesn't have any unanswered questions. It really doesn't. It's beyond questions that can't be answered. We know what happened, okay? It's just not that complicated. I mean, they flew planes into the buildings. That's why the buildings caught fire and they fell down. I mean, it's just not that complicated.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't, you know, whatever. You just believe your crap. Just believe that the theory is that the whole thing happened because they wanted to knock down Building 7. So they knocked down the Twin Towers in the business district in America, jeopardized crashing the New York Stock Exchange, destroying the American economy, doing all of that because they wanted to knock down Building 7. A building of bureaucracy bullshit, of no meaning or relevance. And knocking it down would accomplish absolutely nothing, as all of the papers and whatever else was in it would still be recoverable. Nothing would change. It would just make a mess. How do we win in that circumstance?
I don't think we were supposed to win. I don't think that, I mean, like, if you think about it, all that stuff could have been, like, planned out from so long ago to the point where they knew we weren't going to win, and we already know that we can't win, because it's just like we've all just bought into this. We've bought into this is it. This is our lives. This is what we live in. What we can't fight against something we get that we're all fucking enveloped in.
Well, I'm just saying there's real problems in the world that that we should be addressing, the flaws in our politics, the liar politicians we always end up with. These are things that can be fixed with real mechanisms to reform the system. And if everybody's going to be distracted chasing ghosts, then none of that shit's going to happen. And that's all I see. This is a colossal waste of time to sit there and worry about conspiracy theories about stuff that is just fucking obvious.
Yeah, I guess we should be focusing more on like what's going on in the country. But still, like this whole conspiracy thing, it still is pretty intense. Like think about it, like JFK, his speech about the secret societies and like all this stuff. And there's just some things. There's just I think that's remember what ticks me off. I think that right there, people are just like not wanting to pay attention to shit like that. Because they think it's like out of the question, now fuck that shit. We have more things to think about. What if like we need to think about that? What if we need to do something? Maybe we need to. It might take fucking centuries, hundreds of years. I might die before it happens. But like.
Everybody will die before it happens because it's never going to happen. You're not going to unravel it all and find some little malicious conspiracy guy behind everything who shot JFK and then he stole the Hope Diamond and then he, did 9/11 so, he could get a free pancake breakfast, at the Holiday Inn. I mean, all this crap just doesn't go anywhere.
Right. Yeah. But then. Where are we going? Where do we have to go?
Well, I'm just saying we can go. We have choices. The choices we can all chase, fairies and hobgoblins and boogeymen, or we can try to pave a road to some sort of sensible destination. But the fact that there isn't much place to go, yeah, that's a real problem for human beings. Is how did I get here? I didn't get here because somebody had a great idea and said, let's make a Gary. No, they, had a bad idea and, just said, well, we'll see what happens. Well, yeah, what happened was you sort of wasted my time.
Do you think that people can waste time?
Well, I'm just saying that life doesn't go anywhere. It's just you're just always chasing satisfaction. You're never going to catch it. You never will, and you really don't want to because obviously, if you catch satisfaction, you're not going to have any motivation to do anything. So, and then you die, and so whatever you learn just gets flushed down the toilet. Whatever you made of yourself just flushed down the toilet. I mean, just a lot of work for nothing. I mean, you're only 17, right? So, I mean, 17.
What? No, I'm not 17.
You're 19. Whatever. What's the number?
Yes.
Okay, 2 years
Hey,
difference. You know how little 2 years means at my age? It doesn't mean anything.
I know. I understand. Your age. I know. I'm so young. We get it. But still 2 years. For 17 and 19, it's a little bit different.
I understand that. I'm just saying that that's the joke of the context. I'm just saying, as every decade peels by, your question isn't going to get more answerable. It's going to get more frustrating because you're just going to see more and more how, oh, yeah, okay, do this for another 10 years. And yeah, if you get caught up in something, it'll distract the hell out of you. But if you're thinking about what's going on or what you're doing, you're not going to come up with any better answers. I mean, life is just kind of stupid.
No, it's fucking not stupid. I disagree with that completely. I think life is fantastic in almost every way.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, wait till you watch your mother die over a 3-year period, puking her guts out every day. And then you'll talk to them about how fantastic it is. And if you have a sibling, you can watch one of them die.
Hey, dude.
Hey, chick. Hey, babe. That's reality, okay? I'm just telling you that life is going to fucking burn your ass eventually. Some real hard, ugly shit is going to show up at your door someday. And then you won't be talking all this, life is fantastic, and it's all good, and it's like the perfect ride at Disneyland. It's like, God, it's like so,
So wait,
perfect. It's all
when
gumdrops.
something dies in your life, when say like your mom, you see all the terrible things, yeah, sure, that shit is bad. Of course it's going to emotionally affect you. Hey man, of course it's going to like emotionally affect you, but you can't say like, after all that, life is, nah, fuck it, life is just, it sucks.
Well, I'm just
You're
saying,
gonna have
do
to
it
accept
first, and then you can tell me about how it's okay, okay? So go through that first, watch that shit happen, and then you can talk to me about how it's okay.
So, yeah, but you know, we're not talking about like emotional events that have happened in our
Well,
lives.
it's not about it being emotional. It's about it being. It's
You're
about
just
it
talking about your
being.
mom.
Well, whatever. You want to say it's
Oh,
just emotional, then you could say that about everything. You could just say, you know, if you're going to just say that there is no real harm, it's just your reaction to the harm. Their suffering wasn't a bad thing. No, it's just you're being emotional about it.
Of course it was a bad thing.
Well, no, you're just saying if you're going to be all emotional about it, that's not the point. The point isn't my emotion. The point is that's the real price we pay to get on this little fun ride. It's not a free ride. It's a very expensive ride. And I'm just saying that's one of the fundamental problems with human beings, in my opinion, is they don't take any account for the expense of this ride. This ride is not free.
I wasn't saying it was free, but I just think it's fantastic. I just think
Fine,
I feel
whatever,
like it's worth
whatever.
being.
That just makes me want to puke. Okay, this idea that it's just
Well,
fantastic.
that's okay. That's okay, because
It's
that's your
just
opinion.
fantastic. Well, whatever. Yeah, it's my opinion that you're the blight of this fucking planet. Assholes like you, talking up life, all right, just end up producing more motherfucking bastard humans to sit there and go through this bullshit over and over and over again. I wouldn't have to keep coming back here if people would just get real and say, you know, life is just a pile of shit. And we really don't need to keep perpetuating it, because it's not fantastic. It's fantastically stupid. We accomplish absolutely nothing, and we watch everything decent and beautiful turn to shit.
Yeah, like it sucks sometimes. Life is shit sometimes, but I believe, like, I can't agree because, dude, I mean, like, I'm not saying dude like a bad thing. I say dude a lot, so. But you can call me man or whatever. I don't care. It's just words. But I mean, if like, of course I've been through things, and you've been through things, and we've all felt these specific feelings, but in different ways because of the events that have happened in your life and the events that happened in my life. But those feelings are still the same. We're still feeling the same anger, the same pain, the same sadness.
But they're not just events that happen in my life. I can't make a justification for even one of them. If I took all of human history, every great moment ever experienced by a human being, and I just contrast that against the Elephant Man, right? You've heard of him, like a guy who, you know, grows up, and as he's a little kid.
I haven't.
Well, I'm just saying, there's this disease out there that will cause these horrible, deforming tumors. They will completely own you, okay? And eventually they'll close your eyes. They'll make it impossible for you to lie down. You're just going to be a monster. I mean, there's a girl right now in Haiti, and you know they have to feed her through a straw. She can't speak anymore. She's just in hideous condition because of this disease. It's a life of just abject horror. Okay, now I can't take that one suffering life and say, okay, I put that on one side of the scale, and now I'm going to put something else on the other side of the scale that's going to make that worth it. I wouldn't live that for $1 billion. I wouldn't live that life for $1 trillion. You couldn't give me a gazillion perfect lives as a movie star, Hollywood celebrity for 1 trillion years, and I still wouldn't live that life if that's the life I had to live to pay for it. And so my argument is that we're not, if we were actually accomplishing something, I'd say fine, but we're not accomplishing anything. We're just feeding need. We're just hungry little monsters. We come into the world and say, I got to get mine, I got to get mine, I got to get mine, I got to get mine. And that's the price we pay for it, is that some people get absolute horror. Yeah, some. I mean, I'm just saying, what's the difference between me and that person? Absolutely nothing. Luck of the draw. You know, that's all. That's the only difference. I didn't earn the privilege of not having cancer. I didn't earn the privilege of not having a horrible defect, not having all. You know, there's a ton of. There's 16% of the human race is disabled. I mean, I didn't earn the liberty of not being in that group. I didn't earn the benefit of not having a drunk driver plow into my family's car when I was 7 years old and spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. I didn't earn any of that freedom. I've just got the grace of it. Okay, but that certainly doesn't mean I'm incapable of recognizing that if I had to pay that, if I had to actually endure that life, that I certainly wouldn't live this life for that life.
Yeah. Because, you know, the world's kind of like a machine. We all do what we do because we're doing something. We have to do something, but we're all doing what we're doing something.
I know, but we're all doing it for no reason, is my argument. We're doing it because we've been designed by a DNA molecule to be hungry and horny and needful.
But hey, whatever.
Well, I'm just saying.
Here we are.
You're just whatevering over everything. You're just whitewashing. So let's just pull out a whitewash brush. It's too ugly. Oh, don't look at that dirty part. We'll just put some whitewash on that. We'll just put some whitewash on this ugly shit over here. Whitewash Frankenstein right out of the picture. And, you know, that's fine.
No,
if that's
that's
what,
not,
well, I'm just saying, if
no
that's your
whitewashing.
survival
Let's
mechanism.
keep it very clear and
but that's what
colorful.
you're doing. Whatever is whitewash. Whatever is the most whitewashy word in the English language. You might as well just say whitewash, because that's what whatever means.
It's just like, yeah, you know, like, okay, well, we're here. Like, what else is there? I know maybe we're doing it for
I
a reason, but we're
understand, but
here.
this whole argument started because you said life is fantastic, and I was just saying, no, that's not the right word to use. It's something less than fantastic.
Yeah, okay, I'll use another word. I'll try and find some more words, but yeah. I just thought you literally thought that life was just a piece of shit altogether. Like, no, there are some
Well,
good things.
obviously, you know, I couldn't be alive this long and not find something enjoyable. So, I mean, obviously.
That's good.
Obviously, there's certain things I enjoy. But I'm just
Well, yeah,
saying.
see, but I didn't get that from the way that you were speaking.
Well, I just don't see how anybody could survive if they didn't find something that gives them some sort of relief from the, you know, horrors. Yeah, I do enjoy cigarettes. And I'm still into the ladies, thank goodness. And I like
well, I think I'm gonna go
snack crackers.
and like live my life. But I hope that you continue on with this thing that you're doing, with this whole debate thing, you know, the rest of your life and the rest of everyone's life goes swimmingly.
Yeah, well, it's nice to hope anyway, right? Yeah, okay.
Hope
yeah,
is good.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You can't really cash it anywhere. But okay, thank you. And likewise,
All right.
because it's free, you know, it's easy to say anyway. Good luck and such.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
And whatever, Vulcan sign and stuff. Live long and prosper as much as possible and such. Once my Vulcan is broken, I guess I can only do it with my other hand. Damn, it's raining again. Fuck. My basement's got flood.
Hey Gary, I had an idea for a video. You know, you've got the different subjects, like putting life out to misery, the meat thing, quantum consciousness, whatever. I thought it'd be a good idea to start one on the subjects of economics and what's the most efficient way of doing it. You know, I thought of starting the ball rolling, like talking about what's, you know, for example, let's say the rich were going to have their tax cuts. Well, in my opinion, the only logical way that would be sound idea is if you increase the minimum wage. Okay, you're going to do the trickle down thing, but it's not going to be a trickle, it's going to be a, you know, whatever's more than a trickle.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, obviously that's my plan. I'm going to get there eventually. Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, I think there are these basic premises that can be argued economically that, you know, are just obvious. You know, like there's a huge flaw in the system that doesn't protect against extortion and exploitation. I mean, if you're exploiting somebody's desperation, you got to have a protection against that, because that's cheating. And it's not a free or fair market then. So there's lots of easy little arguments to be made, so I plan on making those easy ones. But what's the point? I mean, who's listening?
The reason I'm saying this, like, because if they are going to do the Reaganomics, it's going to have to. One of the conditions is, like I just said, the minimum wage would have to be increased to what you'd consider fair, and it would have to be for only people who own businesses. For example, if you're like a multi-billionaire with some corporation, fine, have a tax cut. Are you a billionaire who does nothing with money? No, fuck you. You're not getting a tax cut. That would have to be the minimum requirement in order to follow that a type of economy, whatever.
Yeah, I just don't see any point in tax cuts anyway. I mean, we need, obviously, every government on earth is running deficits, so tax cuts are nonsense. It's how we increase taxes and who should pay taxes. And my argument is that, yeah, the tax on interest profits should be higher in percentage than the tax on work. So if you make your money working, you should pay less taxes, and if you make your money sitting on your ass, you should pay more taxes. Not that complicated.
Yeah, I agree with that. All I'm saying is that if they're going to follow that policy, I'm just saying that would be two of the requirements. So are you going to follow these two requirements? Then no, we're going to do, like you said, the tax increases, which I'm for.
Yeah, I mean, I really like to go just with a shortcut and just kill the rich, but no one will go for that. I mean, they really don't do anything. They really are completely useless.
No argument there.
What do you mean by decent? What, they don't rape cats? I mean, come on. Decent rich people.
Is there any rich people you kind of say, you know, oh, they're all right, or, you know, they're heading in the right direction? That you?
Well, I guess I'd say there's no billionaire I could put in that category. You know, I mean, obviously there's probably people that have a few $1,000,000 that are just living a modest life and they're just using the money for security, and I can't, you know, resent them for that. But billionaire is a whole different class. You got to really exploit a lot of people to make $1 billion. You know, you got to be siphoning off a lot of profit out of people's labor to make $1 billion. You got to underpay people to make $1 billion. You can't be paying them a fair wage. I am back. Hey.
Hey, I kind of understand what interest is. You know, obviously, like, you've got a certain amount of money in the bank.
I'm kind of in line with you with the Third World War. It's the inevitable possibility of the human interaction with technology.
Yeah, you interrupted Machine Guy. Maybe you don't hear him. Maybe one of you isn't docked properly or something. Yeah, let's just answer the question quick. You know, how would my worldview change if I won $1 million? Yeah, obviously it wouldn't change at all. I mean, I would just be worried about effectively using the money. But yeah, I mean, $1 million, I could do a lot of good in the world with that. But I mean, obviously, I mean, I can guarantee, I could say, I swear on everything valuable to me, I ain't gonna be buying no Lamborghinis or anything. Okay, I mean, yeah, I would only use the money in some, you know, way constructive to my philosophical ends. So obviously, it wouldn't change my philosophy. It would make my philosophy more powerful, obviously.
Would interest exist in your ideal world? Because like I understand why the concept of interest is a bit strange. You know, you was talking about a silo full of wheat, and how in reality, you know, you can't come back after a period of.
Well, in my world, like I said, all investment capital, like I said, if there was a real world circumstance where you were risking capital and you expected a return, well, that makes sense because you're risking the capital. But in my ideal world, all the risks for capital would be through a public institution, and so the interest rate would be dictated by the losses of that institution. So it would be completely a non-profit bank, essentially. So if somebody still wanted to invest outside of that non-profit bank, I'd certainly give them the right to do that. But I don't think they would have much business, because I think most people would want to borrow money at the low interest rate that would be provided by this government-guaranteed low-profit bank. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically saying that, I mean, almost every industry, there's no reason why we can't have a non-profit framework that runs the business. You know, where you just have a CEO that's hired, he hires the employees, there's no owners, the employees don't own it, nobody owns it, and it just functions as a business within this framework. So the employees get a fair wage, nobody can get too much money, nobody gets too little money. I mean, it's completely doable. So I would just think banking would be falling under the same rules, and so that institution would be so efficient at lending money that you'd have no need to go to a loan shark.
I'm not really sure what the definition of communism is, but ain't that kind of what you're suggesting? Like, for example, the government own business and just
no, well, see, that's right there. I just said no owner, so the government wouldn't own it. The government provides the seed money. The business pays back the government for the seed money, and that's it. Then the business is self-sustaining, and so it's not owned by the government. It's just regulated by the government.
But surely there'd be, like, for example, say one or two individuals who you could say, yeah, they own the company in a way.
Well, how does the CEO own the company? CEOs don't own the company. So I'm just saying, instead of hiring a CEO at $12 million, of course you would hire them at a reasonable price. You give them $200,000 a year, and you fire them. You put them through this scheme of accountability, where the voters essentially get to elect who elects CEOs and all that stuff, and so they're going to be accountable for how productively they run the business. But they don't get as soon as you create a profit mechanism, you're going to create corruption. So that's my argument. So do away with that. You pay workers value for value. You make contracts, hard, solid contracts. And you just take all of this negative incentive out of the game.
Coming back to the thing I said about the two conditions if Reaganomics was going to be implemented, the reason I said it is because it's like, I was saying last week about people in America who claim to be Christians and they're Republicans. I think one of the problems in the world is like removing some of these barriers that people hide behind, claiming, that the so-called Christian, like I said, like Jesus was like, you said Jesus was a socialist, well, that would be a good barrier to point out, look, hey, why are you hiding behind that barrier? Look, you should be over here with us.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it's like even your own rhetoric, though, just points to the impossibility of the task. Because every time you talk about something that's